Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great today. This is gonna be the first of a series of videos in where I'm gonna kind of help you out to incorporating reading into your daily life, right? This is for all of you out there that wanna incorporate reading into your daily life as a daily habit. And I thought about, okay, what should I do to, help these people to achieve what they want, right? So I typically read every single day. When I say typically, it's, well, sometimes I don't, but I would say 99% of the times I read at least 30 minutes per day. And it's something that I really enjoy, right? And I encounter a bunch of people in my daily life that for some reason they always tell me, no, yeah, I would like to read, but I don't have time to do it, etc., etc. So I thought about making a series of videos to those of you that I don't know, really want to do this and need some type of guidance and some type of maybe someone to be right by your side to helping you out. And I'm not saying this method is perfect. I just want to share what is been helping me out and hopefully can help someone else out there. Having said that, let's go to the first step. In my experience, I believe the first step is to choose a subject you really like. For example, if you like astrology, like some of these books are, you can pick up an astrology book. If you like comics, you can pick up a comic book. If you like science fiction, you can pick up a science fiction book. Or even if maybe you don't know if you like it, but you are intrigued by that subject, I recommend you to go get a book about it. So that's the first step, to choose something you either really like or are intrigued by it or want to learn more about it, right? Why is this important? Well, I believe this is important because that's going to be your motivation, right? It's like you're going to see a friend. For example, you're going to hear me say this a bunch of times. For me, books are friends, right? Imagine you have a friend that you really like to talk to. That's going to be your book. That book is going to be the friend you really like to talk to. Therefore, you need to choose someone you really like to talk to in order to go talk to them, right? So that's why I think the first step for this is going to be choose a subject you either really like or are really intrigued by it, that you want to learn more about it. The second step is going to be you need some time to familiarize with the book. I'll show you what that means in a second. Let's say, for example, I picked up this book from the library or from the bookstore, and yeah, I like the name. Probably I heard about this author before, but what I mean by familiarizing with the book is to start like turning the pages, feeling how it feels in your hand, if you like the size of the book or not, even smell it. Put it right near to you and smell it. If you like the cover, some books I really like when I touch the cover, how they feel. That's something that I really like. Something else that you can do to familiarize with them, you can go to the context page and start reading what is it about. Chapter 1, or you can start to see like how it's divided by chapters. Some of them are part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. You can start, seeing now, okay, so it has like about 21 chapters here. So it has about 21 chapters. Something else I really like to do, I don't know why, but I start like going from the back of the book to the front, something like this. I don't know why, but I like doing that. It's kind of my way to start talking with the book. You can open it in whichever page you want and start reading, for example, this small paragraph. okay, I like what it says, this paragraph. Okay, and then I open in another page and I see this this part of this section of this chapter that says the company we keep. Okay, I'm interested in that, and I start reading at least this area, this big paragraph, stuff like that, right? It's like, as I mentioned, it's like a friend, right? So imagine when you get the book, it's the first time you meet someone that you're really interested about knowing. So it's like open it and start talking to it in several ways. Another way to keep familiarizing with it, it's sometimes what I do, and you can see I did this in this book, right? So I open it in here in this book. I saw something that I liked and I highlighted it somehow with a post-it. Same thing in here. I open it in this page and I read something that I like and I added a post-it to it. Why do I think this is important? Because it increases the possibilities you are reading the book. Imagine I'm just familiarizing with this book and I put it aside because I'm reading another book, right? But the fact that I already familiarized with it, as I said, it's like talking to someone, find something interesting, like I did with these two post-its, right? Like I marked something interesting in the conversation that I have with this person, in this case with this book. I found some items that I find interesting and I put it aside. I mean, I finished my conversation with that person, but it was an interesting conversation. That increases the possibilities that at another time I do want to reach to that person and start a new conversation, meaning picking up the book and, actually start reading it. That's something I do every time I get a book. Let's say I ordered a book online, I got it on my house. Even though I'm reading something else, the first thing I do with that book, even though I know I'm not going to be reading it right away, it's familiarizing with it. Meaning taking the book, opening it, smelling it, mark some stuff if possible. Something else I do, and I show you with this other book. Something else I'll do, it's, you see like how in this area of the book, all of that is marked. Those are the chapters of the book. I already familiarized with this book, and what I did was, for example, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and I went here. Okay, I marked, this is chapter 1, chapter 2, marked, sorry, chapter 2 is marked, so on and so forth, all of the chapters. Sometimes what I do, I went into the chapters, right? And I take a look at how many pages, not only how many chapters there are, but how many pages there are in each chapter. For example, chapter 1 is from page 15 to page, let's see, 38, because chapter 2 starts in page 39, right? So it will be about from chapter 1 will be from chapter 15 to chapter 1 will be from page 15 to page 38. That is about, let's see, 15 plus 8, it's about 20 pages, 21, 22. So that's doable. I'm like, okay, 20 pages is not that bad. It's not like each chapter has like 50 pages. It's like, okay, 20 pages. Then from chapter 2 to chapter 3, it's also about 20 pages. Chapter 3 to chapter 4, let's see, 57 to 120. Okay, this is 50 pages. So this is kind of long, but it makes sense because, it's like, in this case, this book is about astrology, right? It's talking about the zodiac. So I'm like, why chapter 3 is longer than the other two? Okay, because it's talking about the signs from Aries to Virgo, right? So I guess it should be longer and stuff like that. why I feel this is important? Why do I feel this is important? Because it breaks down this book that has like, here you can see, I don't know, about 453 pages or more. You say, oh my God, it's a big book. If I started, if I take it and break it into chapters, and I started to see, okay, chapter 1 is 20 pages, chapter 2 is 20 pages, that's doable, that's doable. I'm started to break down the book in small pieces instead of seeing a book like, oh my God, it's like 453 or more pages, which for a beginner could be a lot. It depends. You may like that type of book. That's totally good. And this is actually really good if you like it like that. But it could be intimidating for some people that are starting to read, right? So that's what I do. Sometimes I started to see how many pages there are in each chapter, and that helps me to start to breaking it down in little pieces so I know it's doable. However, if you are a beginner, I would recommend picking up a book that also have a number of pages that you feel comfortable with. You can read whatever you want. You can read even 1,000 pages. It doesn't really matter, but just choose something you're really comfortable with. So that will be the second step. The third step will be something that is really, really important, and that is deciding how many minutes you're gonna read per day. First of all, what's gonna be your goal, right? So the goal for all of this will be making reading part of your daily life, incorporating reading into your life as a daily habit in a way that you don't even need to think about it, right? And let's see, an achievable goal will be to read at least 30 minutes a day, right? Now, for a beginner, that could be, as I say, a little bit intimidating because you may be thinking, I don't have time to read 30 minutes a day. That's a lot of time, etc., etc. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now at this moment is to decide how many minutes you are going to read per day in order to achieve that goal, that ultimate goal that is reading 30 minutes a day. What do I mean by this? So you don't have, for the step I'm talking to you at this moment, you don't have to choose 30 minutes per day at all. Let's see, what I'm going to ask you to do is choose a moment in your day in where you can read 5 minutes a day. I'm going to say one more time, meaning this is an example of how you can say, okay, so every day at 5 p.m., I'm going to read 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking you at this moment. Why are we doing this? Because the idea with this is like start with 5 minutes and then we are going to be incrementing that amount of time. I'm going to show you how to. Don't worry, we are not there yet. But I'm going to be with you all the way through and I'm going to show you how to do it. As I mentioned, this is going to be kind of an introductory video in where I'm going to just share with you some tips and then we're gonna get into the weeds later on, right? But as of right now, I'm gonna ask you to choose a time in your day in where you can start reading 5 minutes each day. Example, same thing I told you a few minutes ago. Okay, I'm gonna be reading 5 minutes a day, every day at 5 p.m. or every day at 9 a.m. or every day at 7:30 a.m. if you're a morning person, or every day at noon. Choose a time of the day that it's comfortable to you. Only 5 minutes. I'm not asking you more than that. And once you decide that time, put it in your calendar. either in your phone calendar or in a paper calendar or in a post-it, whatever works for you. If it's in the phone, it's even better because you get an alarm at 5 p.m. You can also set up an alarm at 5 p.m. that says reading time. I'm just giving you that idea if that works for you, but just find a way to put it in your calendar. Okay, 5 minutes, 5 p.m. every single day, for example. Now, I want you to think about it one more time as a friend. Think about, this is the time I'm gonna talk to a really good friend of mine or a person that I really, really enjoy talking to. This is the time of the day. This time is for me. Imagine you're doing it at 5, using the same example, right? Imagine you're doing it at 5 p.m. every single day. So 5 p.m. every single day is a time that I have for me to talk to a person that I really enjoy talking to. That person is going to be your book. That friend is going to be your book. If you look at it like that, I think it's going to be really interesting because, as I said, if you choose something that you really enjoy to read, and you are doing it every single day at the same time, you are starting to create a habit. So to wrap up this first video, the 3 steps that I'm asking you, or that I am proposing you to do in order to incorporating reading to your life will be, the first step will be choosing something that you really like, a subject that you really like or are really into it, or you want to learn more about it. Number 2, familiarize with the book. Remember what I mentioned here in this book with all of the chapters, that are marked up already. So number 1, choose something you really like. Number 2, familiarize with the book, touching it, smell it, touch it, smell it, read some pages, start to mark some of them up. And then the 3rd step will be deciding at what time I'm gonna read and how many minutes I'm gonna read per day. Since the goal is gonna be reading 30 minutes a day, what I'm proposing you is like, at what time you will decide the time, whichever time works for you. What I'm proposing you to do is to choose 5 minutes for now. So it will be 5 minutes per day, and just choose the time for it. And so yeah, that's gonna be everything for this introduction video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one, in where I'm gonna share with you which book I choose to read, and I'm gonna also show you how I think we can achieve this goal together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.